stomps. Here we go. Eight pats. Here we go. Eight claps. Ready, go. Eight snaps. Ready, go. All right, and let's put that all together. A 1 and a 2, and a here we go. This video's gotten off to a strange start, but let's talk about some more normal things. We need to talk about how to hold these instruments, the parts of these instruments. I really want to just get to playing, but we kind of have to know our way around these instruments in order for you to know what the instrument is. Because later on we're going to play, I think our very first thing we're going to play is called Let's Play D. And if I just say, all right, let's play a D, 1, 2, ready, go. You don't know what a D is? A D could be a note. A D could be a string. A D could be a note played on an open string. A D could be a third finger on an A string. You could have a low D. You could have a high D. A D could be a letter, or it could be a logo too. That reminds me, these D-backs are really stinking it up this year. So I want to encourage fans to root for them because they need positive vibes sent their way. Here's what I'm going to do. Every home run that the Diamondbacks hit this Thursday is going to mean an extra energy bar in your backpack. So go D-backs. All right, let's go over there and I'm going to show you some things. So here we are with a cello. This is the bigger one. This is, we don't do this. This isn't gonna work. Let me show you some stuff. Let's start from the bottom to the top. We're gonna start down here with our end pin. You've probably figured this out so far, but you untwist this little guy here. It slides out a bit, and then you put it down. How far out does it slide? We've got to talk about posture first. Posture's how we sit. We're gonna sit nice and tall. We're not slouching, we're not leaning back. We gotta sit nice and tall. You should be able to kind of move back and forth. Some people like to twist their chair a little bit. So they're sitting it's like the corner of the chair now is facing forwards. That's okay, as long as I don't catch you doing this. Using the back of the chair as an armrest. Because this is going to be your bow, and how are you going to be able to play if you're like this, right? So that's okay if you want to do that. It's kind of weird for me, whatever. My feet are, they're not exactly flat on the floor. but the toes are on the floor. I'm able to kind of bounce my feet a little bit. It's like if you play baseball or softball or something, and you're on the infield and the batter's up there, you got to be in that crouched, ready position to be able to move. It's kind of the same thing. It's being in a ready position. If I were to come up and push you over, are you going to fall over, or are you going to be stable and ready to move with me and react? All right, so your feet are ready down there. Your cello is going in between your knees, but you can't just hold the cello with your knees. This is not the right way to play. You'd look super goofy. So your knees are apart enough to get the cello in here. For this reason, ladies, it's important that you don't wear skirts and like short dresses when you're playing the cello. Look up like cello performances on YouTube. But there's a ton of really good female cello players out there. Look at what they wear. Be careful. So the end pin needs to go on the floor out in front of us. And everybody's gonna be a little bit different about how far out it is. So I can't really tell you 16 inches or 18 inches or 2 feet. You know, it's gonna be whatever's best for you. But our goal is between how far out it goes and how far out our end pin is, we want this first peg here, the one that's attached to your C string, that peg should be right at our ear. So the way I'm set up right now, this thing is too low. If I brought the end pin in closer to me, it's gonna raise this up. But now my cello's I can't have it lean back far enough. So I need to pull this end pin out a little bit more. I put it out in front of me, find where it seems nice and comfortable. It's right between my knees here. The first peg is right here level with my ear. One of the cool things you can actually do is if it's right, you know how you can like make the Pac-Man sound by going like wah? Well, if you push that little thing in your ear with the peg, you can hear that string rattle and vibrate through your entire head. It's really cool. Anyway, look at how we are now. So I've got a lot of control over my cello. I've got it held by the neck here. If I need to use both hands, it's right here. I can lean it up against my chest. This is never going too far away. And you want to be careful of this. This, like your head, is one of the most important parts of the instrument. Because if these pegs get knocked around, they're gonna get out of place and your cello isn't gonna be in tune anymore. It won't sound like that. From here, I can reach my fine tuners without having to go around. Look how easy it is to adjust it. You hear how it's a little bit higher? Keep moving it right here. Now it's way higher. It doesn't sound right anymore. So that's wrong. Don't do that. I want to show you that it's, you got access to that right here if you do it right. That was all about, you had to know all about this stuff just to know about the tail piece, right? Or the peg, the tail. What did I call that? End pin.
End pin.
Right? So there's our end pin. It's set now. When I'm done practicing, I'm going to loosen it, push it back in. It's dangerous. You could trip, you could fall, you could damage this, you could stab your sister in the eye. No, be careful. So push that back in when you're done practicing. From there, we move up to the tail piece here, where the fine tuners are, that change the pitch of the strings, which sit on top of the bridge. And again, just like those violin videos that we've seen, the bridge should be 90 degrees to the face of the instrument. There's a very special certain place that bridge has to be. The feet here should be pretty much lined up with the little grooves in what we call the F holes. So right where those little grooves are, that's pretty close to where your bridge should be. Inside the instrument, if you turn it on its side here and look inside those F holes at an angle, you will see the sound post. And the sound post is going up and down this way. It helps hold the instrument up to keep it from collapsing against the pressure of these strings, but it also helps send the vibration of the string through the bridge, through the faceplate, and it helps it echo around inside. So without that sound post in there, your instrument's gonna sound really dull and it's just not gonna sound good. If yours ever falls down, you gotta take it to a shop and they'll put it back up for you. Again, just like the bridge, it goes in a really specific place and they can do that. Inside on the other side, the sound post is kind of beneath the high strings. Beneath the low strings, there's a big bar that runs this way. And it's too shallow, you can't see it when you look in there, but it's running right underneath the bass strings, and that's called the bass bar. So that's in there too, you'll just have to trust me. As we move up, the black piece of wood here, this isn't painted. If you have a painted fingerboard, then you know you have a VSO. Get rid of that thing and go get down to a real store. But it's carved in a very specific way, and it's made out of a really high quality wood that comes from Africa. So that's pretty cool. That's the fingerboard. That's where our fingers are gonna push down to make the sound go higher. As we move up, we have our finger tapes. Some of you might have these. Some of you might have 3, you might have 2, you might have 1, you might have none. That's fine. They're okay. Imagine training wheels for a bike. These are just your training wheels. Once you get good, they come off and you don't have to worry about it. The opposite of the bridge up here is the nut. As you move up, you have the peg box. That's the brains of your instrument right up here with your head. It's the box that the pegs go into. If there's any issues up here, if the strings just look like they're on there really messy, if the pegs don't stay in the same place when you move them, then check out some of those videos I posted in the parents page, and it'll explain a lot about what's going on up here. You don't really need to know yet, though, just to play the instrument. And then we have a scroll. That's just because we like to be fancy. There's absolutely no technical reason why it needs to be a fancy scroll up there. We just do it. I think that's everything. Neck, did I say the neck? Fingerboard is on the neck, so this is 2 separate things. Fingerboard, neck. That's it. That's the cello. Cool. So we kind of learned about the parts and how to sit. Remember, the key is having that peg, lower peg, right in your ear, and to be able to reach. Yeah. Violins. We talked a lot about the shoulder rest during Monday's live session. So if you're still struggling with this shoulder rest thing, jump over onto the home page, scroll down. There's a link to where all the old stuff is. So it's in week 2. It was Monday, week 2, that first video. That's where we'll talk about shoulder rests. Lastly, from pretty much from here on out, these live sessions that we're doing are going to be your time to practice and work and get your stuff done. So just like yesterday, you guys logged on, and if you didn't fill out any of those assignments yet, the practice space, the player profile, or turned in your first recording, you had the time in class to go and do all that stuff. That's what these live lessons are going to be like. You're following along at your own pace. You're going to have time every afternoon to sit down, practice, and really get your work done. I'll always be here. You can turn your mic on, turn your camera on. We can see each other and talk, and I can help you out with stuff. But that's what most of this is going to be from here on out. Cool? Very soon, expect the next video for the playing stuff. So you should have your instrument by now, you should have your books by now, and we should get going and having some fun on this river thing. All right, this video is way too long. Bye.